Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Praise and I am back with another video. So if you're new here, it's lovely to see you, and if you're not, it's lovely to have you back again. For today's video, I'm going to be telling you everything I wish I knew before starting sixth form and everything I think you should know before you're about to start sixth form. The first thing I wish I knew before starting sixth form was that you don't need to have your life planned out, but you should have an idea. And I put idea in like quotation marks because as I went into uni, that like broadened even further in terms of that idea could stray into something else completely. So that's why at sixth form, I think looking back on everything, obviously I'm happy with all the decisions I've made. I'm happy with what I chose to study at uni and what I am doing now. But in sixth form, I guess looking at my friends and looking at myself and looking at the position we were put in, you don't need to have your life planned out. So the subjects you're taking definitely should align with where you think you want to go, but it really could just be the case that you take these subjects and they're not for you, or you don't end up actually going into what you want with those subjects. But ideally, if you do have a great idea that you want to be a lawyer, or you want to do architecture, or you don't even want to go to uni but you want to do like a degree apprenticeship, then definitely look at what you need to take in order to take those routes. So that's the first thing I wish I knew, because I think back then there was a lot of stress on having your like life figured out, and the subjects you're taking have to align with what you're doing. And for some subjects or some things that you want to do after uni, it's definitely necessary. So like for medicine, you definitely do need to have like science-based subjects for some of them, but for the more broader ones, I'd say pick subjects that will take you in that direction, and also take subjects that, at least one, that you enjoy. And that's what I did. And just to quickly add to that, I think I would say the whole idea of having your life sorted out, I guess I don't feel like they told me this at sixth form, and I think I realized this for myself and my friends, and I realized it after. University is not the only route after sixth form. So you can look into degree apprenticeships, or you can look into apprenticeships. Have an idea, but don't stress if you don't have yourself figured out. Moving on into the more like academic side of things, I would say independence definitely kicks in when you start sixth form. And I think my sixth form definitely made it so that they told us what we need to learn, but after that, what you do with that information is based on you. So how I would learn, or how we would do things, is that we obviously get taught it in class, and then maybe we get some like essays, because I did history as one of them. So I would take time out after my classes, and in my free periods, your free periods are not free periods. If you are someone who wants to faff about, go ahead, by all means, that's on you. But for me, I think when I had free periods, I definitely used that time to consolidate what I'd learned in either my classes or do homework. Sounds so silly saying homework. Or do work that I'd been given or set. So I definitely think in sixth form you gain a lot more independence and you have more control of your time. That goes even further when you start uni, but this is not the video for that. So definitely independence is where like it really kicks in for yourself in sixth form. I knew that would be the case, but I just didn't know how much and to what extent that would be the case when I went from GCSEs to sixth form. But that's definitely something I'd say just have in the back of your head, like it's on you. It actually is on you. The third thing I wish I knew before starting sixth form, which for me is a bit not ironic, because now that I look back at it, I don't know why I was like cruising like, oh, it's okay. Like, use the first couple of weeks to look at what you're studying, so like the subjects you've taken, and decide, is this actually for me? Like, can you do this? I know so many people who pick like further math and realize I can't do that, like, and there's nothing wrong with that, but the earlier on you decide that, the better. I think I remember like my school had a deadline, and it was after that deadline where I realized, am I doing what I like? I did end up sticking with my subjects, but definitely take the time, go to your classes, look at the work, look at the syllabus, and see, would you enjoy learning this for the next 2 years? Because it is basically, you've gone from 10 subjects or 11 subjects at GCSEs to doing 3 to 4 at A levels. So just because it's fewer subjects does not mean it's less work. If anything, it's more work. It's intensified basically. So have a look at what you're learning earlier on and decide or just have in the back of your mind, am I enjoying this? Like, ask yourself this, because your teachers will not ask you that. They will continue teaching you and expect that that's what you're going to sit and examine. But if you're not enjoying it, don't spend the next 2 years continuing on with that subject just for you not to like it, because it's not even about liking it, but it's about being able to understand what you're learning and perform in that. The fourth thing I wish I knew before starting sixth form is actually that it's not only about, like, obviously the academics are the main part, but then in sixth form, that's when you start applying for like uni, and that's when you start considering what you do want to do for the future. I would say gain work experience. Like, my school made us do it in fifth form, which is year 11, but I would say in the summer between year 12 and year 13, try and gain some work experience in what you think you want to do or study at university, so the career that it would take you. So if you want to study law, try and do like a legal work experience at a law firm or a citizens advice bureau, just to see whether you would actually be interested in the work. And if anything, the reason why I'm saying try and gain as much work experience as possible is because when you're doing your personal statement in year 13, you need to have things to put down there, and that aligns with also making sure that you do extracurricular activities. It could be sports, it could be something academic, it could be going to public lectures, which I will actually say I go to LSE, or I went to LSE. I graduated like a month ago, but LSE, if you're interested in law and also any other degrees, have so many public lectures and public events, so go to them if you are interested and just get a taste and see if it's something you'd want to do. Also, throughout from year 12 to year 13, get a notebook and write down everything you've been doing towards applying for university, so how you've shown interest in the degree that you want to study later on. And the reason I say that is because at times you might just forget that you've done this to contribute towards what you can put in your personal statement. But like, I've played hockey since year 7, and like, these are just things that extracurricular activities, I think, played a small part in my personal statement, but actually academic extracurricular activities played a big role in what I was writing. So definitely have that in mind, and think, if you're not doing anything yet, think on what you'd want to join when you start sixth form. And also make sure to explore different career paths with like gaining work experience, because I think that's one thing I wish I explored more, because obviously I chose history, politics, Spanish, art. Like, those are essay-based subjects apart from art and Spanish, but I did that knowing I wanted to study law. Like, if it wasn't law, guys, I was not doing anything else. That's my problem. But I would have definitely forced myself to explore other career paths or explore other routes. That's one thing I definitely think you should do, and don't let anyone push you into doing something you don't want to do. The fifth thing, which I did, but I definitely think people don't do it enough, with this whole mentality of like, you can do things alone. Obviously, when you're writing the exam, at the end of the day, it's you and that paper, and that's it. But throughout the years, form a good relationship with your teachers and teachers. Form a good relationship with your teachers from the start, because two reasons I say this. One, when it comes to you needing help, if you have a good relationship with them, I think it will just work out better and more in your favor. And secondly, when it comes to predicted grades, I don't know how different schools, colleges, sixth forms do them, but it was the case where my teachers were the one predicting my grades. And I'm not saying if you have a better relationship with them they'll bump it up, but like, just increase your chances of getting the best grades possible through their predictions. And along with that, also form great relationships with your friends. I'm not gonna lie, sixth form, I'll continue saying this, was the best time of my life, but just overall secondary school, which in retrospect I would have never said that 3 years ago. During sixth form, there were so many times where I would be at an open day, or another friend of mine would be at a university open day during term time. So the people in my classes would still be going to class, whereas I'm out. The benefit of having a good relationship with people in your class is that you can share notes together and they can explain things to you when you both have free periods at the same time. I think now that I look back at that, that really worked in my favor. And I don't think, if you don't speak to people, fair enough, but at the end of the day you're learning the same thing, so you may as well do it together up until when it comes to like revision. And if there's anything you have questions on, I remember so many times in history, there were like 6 of us in a class for history, but I remember so many times me saying, okay, but can you explain this? and they will happily do it. And I think that's how we all learn best from each other. We'd share notes, and it really helped me when it came to, I actually didn't, guys, if I'm honest, I did not sit my A-level exams because I was that cohort that, you know. So anyways, before that, I think if I had sat my exam, all of that and all the help my friends and professors gave me would have contributed extremely to whatever result I got. Number 6 thing I wish I knew, and I'm not gonna lie, I've consistently said I'm someone who, if it's mocks, don't even try me. Like, it's not going in my favor. I don't know why. For the real things, I always perform. Try your best in your mocks. Like, try and get the best grade possible so that when it comes to predicted grades, once again, they can say that by the time you do sit your exam, your grades would have risen even further if you're doing this well already. And I don't think you should put yourself in a position where, because they can't see that you've been able to produce results, they don't give you good predicted grades. I think a lot of people unfairly get put in a situation where their predicted grades aren't enough for either the course they want to study or what they want to do. So just try your best in your mock so that you have that to back yourself up, that, oh, I can do this and this is what I would get by the time I've done it. So just try your best. Like, if I'm honest, I've said it, I'm not someone who does well in mocks. Like, it just doesn't, I don't know how or why, but maybe it's because my mind knows it's not the real thing. 7th thing I wish I knew is, I've said this previously, do some extracurricular activities. So in school I did hockey, I did netball, I did the ACS, which was the African Caribbean Society, I did Spanish debate team, I did debating on its own, I did speech, oh, I was part of the choir, guys. I think that was it. And then within my house, like, we had houses, I was the deputy head with Marlene. So we ended up having to like run loads of house choirs, like, for the competitions, and like put on plays and dramas against the other houses, and coordinate that. So I did a lot, and I know I did a lot, and I had a lot to put down. But aside from doing that, I just say, for me, I'm someone that enjoys having extracurricular activities to do, because if I'm only studying, I don't perform as well, quite frankly. Like, I need something else to be doing simultaneously in the same time. But aside from that, extracurricular activities will be very beneficial. I think that's one thing. Oh, I did DV as well, Duke of Edinburgh. Woo! But yeah, I would definitely encourage that, aside from just doing things academically. In line with the independent thing quickly that I said earlier, organisation is actually key in 6th form, and you should sort that out earlier on. I think I was quite organised. Like, I had different folders for different subjects and just knew what I needed. So just sort your organisation out and it will help you in the long run. Final 2 things I wish I knew is, first, decide what you want in the beginning. Like, if you haven't started 6th form yet, right now I would write down, like, in your notes what you want. Like, what do you want to achieve? And if it's make memories, okay, go ahead. But obviously you're going to school for a reason, so I would put like target grades you want to reach in your A-levels, and then work towards that. Like, you have a goal in mind, and I think when you have goals, it's easier to like think methodically how you're going to reach them. So definitely have that in mind, because often I think you've just gone from GCSEs to 6th form, so you think, oh, like, new stage and stuff, but you quite often forget that this is wider than just like going to school. There's a reason why 6th form is a lot more intense than GCSEs and secondary school. So yeah, final thing I would say is that it's never too late. That's one thing I wish I knew. It's never too late. At any stage you can decide to turn your 6th form or college journey around. And I say this with the fact that I knew in year 12, not that I didn't work, like, I will work regardless, but I was less of a serious candidate than I was in year 13. But it's because I was just like, I knew in year 13, that's when, okay, like, I'll do a lot more academically. Basically, it's just never too late to turn around what you do. So if your teachers are giving you silly grades, then you can decide for yourself that you want to change that and you want to turn it around. And that's what I did throughout. It's never too late to change what you want for yourself, what you want to do, what you want to study, unless you have deadlines, come on, and also how you want to be academically. So yeah, that is everything I would say I wish I knew before starting sixth form, and I wish someone told me. As much as sixth form is sixth form, take it as seriously as you can, but also like have fun with it. These are the last times from sixth form, everyone goes in different directions, so definitely spend as much time with your friends as possible, use your free periods wisely, and just enjoy it. But yeah, let me know what subjects you're taking down below and what you plan on doing after sixth form. If you don't know, that's fine, but I'm actually very much interested. And that has been it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed watching. Make sure to follow me on Instagram at praiseXOX, and if you have any questions, comment them down below. Make sure to subscribe. For now, it's been your girl Praise, and I will see you next week with another video. Goodbye.
Go, 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 shorty. It's your birthday. We gon' party like it's your birthday.